know how they do on them sitcoms where they'll have the marathon and somebody hit that cab. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because they did that on Fresh Prince that time. Jeffrey, when he was blonde. Yeah, he, you know what I'm saying? They ruined his name. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got found out basically. You trying to take a shortcut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got found out. And it shows they got ISUPK got found out. Like, bro, y'all don't believe. Y'all just, bro, at best, bro, y'all just got zeal, bro.
Yeah.
That's all we can get y'all. Y'all just got zeal, bro. Y'all got the name, but y'all got zeal. Y'all on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? For one, following the traditions of men, following Yohana. You know what I'm saying? And following that 1992 Hebrew Israelite spirit. That's what's got them, you know, like, bro, stop. You know what I'm saying? But that's a prime example, like you said, from RuPaul to D-Wade and his son, to Jake, who just wants love and validation from Esau. They think that's the right way. They think that's the straight gate.
They think that's the straight gate. And they're going to be wise in their own eyes to do that evil.
Yeah. Bubba Eyes thinks Edomites being saved or being in the kingdom is a straight gate. He thinks that. This is a verse. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
This is verse 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. We know who that few is, the elect.
Right.
Like the brother said, bro, I'm convinced. You know what I'm saying? Like brother said, but I'm convinced. I don't fall out. I don't get kicked out. It's just, I know the show gonna go on. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a prime example of that, when that Edomite died when he had that incident in 2017 at the job, he had died. He had fell at 36 feet. Yeah. Guess what, bro? We was back at work the next day. Guess what, bro? Terminal A got finished.
Oh, I remember that. You talking about a few years ago?
Yeah. Dog, that Edomite. Yeah. Bro, the terminal's finished. Job day. So basically, the word of the Most High doesn't come back void.
Right. So
I just looked at that like, bro, one monkey don't stop no show. We at work the next day.
Man, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Job got finished. That's it.
Right.
We still push. You know that's but we know through the spirit that's how Bashem Yahshua is working. Like, all right, bro, John is back saying the truth. All right, y'all want love and validation from Esau. All right, y'all, certain Jake think this is the kingdom. You other Israelite groups want the kingdom. All right, bro, we'll see.
That's right. It goes back to the point. You know, those virgins.
Yep. Well, the 5 wise and the 5 foolish.
That's right. You got that back in Matthew, right?
Oh, 25?
Yeah.
This is Matthew 25. Yeah, you want to start at, we stopped at what, 7? 6?
Okay, read verse 5 again.
Matthew 25 and 5, it says, while the bridegroom tarried, they slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom coming, go ye out to meet him.
Right. And the thing about it is, again, it went into all those virgins, but it said that cry was made. A cry is a sign or like a token. When there was a cry that was made in the ancient world, more than likely there was a huge event that had taken place, whether it was a murder, a kidnapping, something serious, like you see today. But there was what you called a cry of mourning back then. You know, it was out of the norm. Somebody would let out a huge cry.
Like an Amber Alert.
That's right, like an Amber Alert, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And even, not to push anybody's buttons or anything like that might be listening, but even like when rape was involved, you know what I'm saying? If a woman would cry out, that means that she was betrothed to a man. There's something that would take place, and they would give that certain cry. It's an alert of something big getting ready to take place. Right. And we see all the things that are happening on the earth. All right. Again, the coronavirus. That's a huge cry that's being made on the earth. The earth is crying.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Chariots being seen in the heavens like crazy. You know, it's crying that's going on.
That's right.
Okay, but as that cry was made, what did it say? It said, then they had rose up and went out. You know, rising up and going out. You know, highways. On top of the highways, trimming yourself, conducting yourself in a certain way of fashion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Going out. You out there to be seen. Look at it like for example, with women. When women go out to be seen, they try to look their best. You know what I'm saying? Again, we're talking about virgins. Okay? When they hear the cry, oh, the clown, oh, they shake that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's gonna be lit, you know? Now you think about it righteously. You know, all these cries that are being made, you know, things on the earth. The men of the Lord are out there making themselves seen.
Right.
You know?
Go ahead. But more so, like you said, in a righteous standpoint. Because we're not to be seen of men. Like you said, we're not to be seen, you know, on the highways and byways. We're not to be out there seen, you know what I'm saying, in the retrospective, you know what I'm saying, to be seen as in a popular.
Yeah, right. And which again goes back to what we were talking about earlier. No reputation. Go ahead.
Being a man of no reputation. You know, like you said, like when, with a women, we know these women ain't virgins. They would be considered the foolish, the foolish virgins.
They would be the foolish. Yeah.
Now when a reason for us to be seen out there is to be fishermen of men.
Right.
Okay, and then Abaratizah, whoever falls in line through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, adheres to the word. You know, to the select number of Aquath. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, most certainly the men, man. We out there to wake people up. You know, we you know, like the elders and apostles say, this ain't no popularity contest. So it goes to dealing with the 5 wise virgins, man.
Right, that's right.
You wanna do everything you can go through that straight gate. Right. You know, like a priest said.
Yeah, I mean, we was talking about it earlier before we started recording. Even going into Hebrews, you know, we were explaining different parts of the Hebrews, what had stood out to all of us. You know, when parts of Hebrews goes into how Yahushua was made of no reputation and he was lowly. I mean, he was lower than the angels, but greater than all of us. But the way he personally conducted himself and carried himself, he wasn't just out there to be given the dang about being seen or what men had perceived and thought, but it was more so showing out to the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially when he was around the Republicans and the common folk. Yeah. Like they was calling the glutton and the wine bibber. Right. He didn't care.
Right.
He didn't care. He was out there to bring out the word of Yahweh of the Most High.
That's right.
He was about his father's business. Right. Oh, so I look like a drunkard. You know, I'm eating this lamb. I'm in here kicking it. But he ain't worried about that though. I ain't worried about being seen amongst the bro. I'm here to I'm here to wake up the flock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So that because you would think like with that, well, if this is the Messiah, why he ain't here for y'all like that? Right. He here fisherman. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
He's looking for those 5 wise virgins,
and the ones that are wise will be able to receive it as such.
That's right.
Yeah. Conduct them ways in that manner if they were called to be a prophet.
That's right.
You know, if they were called to be in the truth. Yeah. The truth. That's, you know. Yeah. But was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you need something else?
No, it's still in that Matthew 25.
This is Matthew 25 verse 7.
And this is more something like just a discussion we was having, y'all. I mean, we started recording it, but it wasn't nothing that was planned or anything. You know, so we're just going into the 5 wise, 5 foolish, the foolish virgins. I said foolish, mixing words and shit. 5 wise, 5 foolish virgins, and just going into self-conduct. You know, ultimately going back to self-conduct. And when you're in the truth, even the decision making that we make can determine if you're catering toward the foolish or the wise. Because, you know, you make foolish decisions and you make wise decisions. And the more foolish decisions that you make is more than likely when you're not carrying the oil with you or meditating on it. Earlier it said that the foolish ones didn't carry the oil and the wise ones did. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 7, it says, then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
All right. Somebody pull up that word trimmed in a blue letter, Baba Kasha. I don't got too much battery in this, you know.
What verse?
Baba Kasha. I believe that's in verse 7, yep. The water, bro. The water.
All right, that word trimmed in Matthew 25 and 7 is
25, Cosmeo.
And it says to put in order, arrange, make ready, prepare. It says to ornament or adorn, metaphorically to embellish with honor or gain honor.
Right. The word is cosmeo, like where you get cosmetology from, cosmetologist. A lot of times when you go into cosmetology school, that's when people, hair gets done, you know what I'm saying? A lot of barbering and so forth. That type of work goes into like trimming edges, trimming this, that, and the third. But the root of that origin goes to something greater, which means just getting better, trimming off excess. That's what it boils down to, just trimming off excess that's not needed. For example, if you have land, there's times when you're gonna have to get that land trimmed before it grows all out of order to the point where everything is everywhere.
Right.
But if things are in order and you have a particular arrangement set up to trim it, it's gonna get done. That's what it boils back to, cosmeo.
Right.
And that's how the men of the Lord are gonna constantly conduct, examine. You see certain things growing out of whack, you make sure that you make an attempt to groom it. And the thing about it is, the Lord knows that we were all foolish at a point of time. Of course, we were virgins, but we were all foolish at a point of time. So being here, you're going to have those certain instances where, you look and you're like, oh, shoot, I got to trim this off longer. He might cause certain things to get long as heck before it's cut off.
Right.
Not saying that you should just allow it to continue to grow, but he knows you more than you know yourself. And your own role plays a true part in this ministry if you were called a vessel called for honor. But the moral of it is, you want to make sure that you do still trim it and do the best that you can, because it might not be that he's looking for the most perfect bride, but one that actually tried, because at the end of the day, his sacrifice covers all anyway. Yeah. If you're making that attempt. And that's what the 5 wise virgins will be doing in this time.
It's like
No, you got it, brother.
It's like a brother who hasn't been in camp like in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like, damn, where you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Opposed to, hey, brothers got heads up. This brother, hey, he took a new job. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that trim, like, damn, bro, like, you just like, you ain't going, because, we got brothers in this room, prime example. Brothers can't make a Tuesday camp, main camp, what do? They get in the spirit and go and set another day aside. Right. So that's a way of trimming, you know what I'm saying? Right. In different aspects, because it's like, man, because work, that work involves, but brothers know they got something more important, which is the work. But we know we gotta be, be expedient, be wise. That also takes a part of being a wise virgin. Right. Because some brothers say, oh man, that first month, that second month, that third month, and other stuff follows. No videos, no class, no communication. Jay just fades away.
Winging it.
Yeah. And because it wasn't no trimming to where, okay, I at least got to be around the brothers. That starts helping.
Yeah.
Damn, I ain't did videos in weeks. Call a brother. Bro, post another brother's video. Post a video and put a scripture up that relates to the scriptures. You could start trimming, bro, before it gets, like the brother said, before it gets too long. Switch a schedule with somebody so you can make a Tuesday camp. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't make it to Friday camp. It's different aspects of trimming. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers got hobbies and what they like to do, but as far as the Akim, brothers push and push the Most High first and foremost, man. Yahweh Yahushua, brothers push that vibration, man. I know all the brothers' talents and what they like to do in their spare time, and brothers keep Yahweh Yahushua at the forefront. That's what it's all about, man. The faith and the works, man. And that's a way of trimming. It's just different aspects. Brother likes to go jogging. If the jogging, of course, is getting in front of you, it's getting in the way of how about Yahushua, bro. You may want to slow down on the miles if you're too tired to do a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Start, picking other days, but we know that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? It's just different aspects of trimming.
Okay.
This is back in Matthew 25, verse 8. It says, "And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps is going out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you.
Hey, a lot of times when people are withering and this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? They'll, for example, you know what I'm saying? Through certain scenarios that I know I've been in since I've been in truth. You know, there's certain times where you might assign a brother to do lessons with you, whatever the case is. Now, certain times that's meant for that brother to grow. But also there's indicators where it's like, man, like you see them withering away. Yeah. Not saying that's the only example. That's one of the ones that come to mind, you know, thinking about that. But also too, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's gonna be the difference is gonna be set. Who's doing what they need to do and who's not doing what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord sees that. You know.
Right.
Go ahead.
So you ain't gonna be able to piggyback your way into the kingdom.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you can't ride another brother coattail. I said now you do videos to brother like, you know, the Most High might link you up with certain brothers in the spirit, and that's great because the Lord sent the man out too.
That's right. That's right.
Ultimately, yeah, you can't piggyback your way into the kingdom.
That's right.
You don't have to have your own words. You don't have to have your own mind made up. You got to govern yourself in the daily life.
That's right.
It's about videos.
Yeah.
It's day to day.
It's day to day.
You know, you preparing yourself as a virgin that we're talking about. You know, we all once ugly as hell. You know, then you have the reality TV shows where you get that makeover. That shit, she got acne, split ends, all that. We had that in the spirit, man.
That's right.
You know, we were ugly as hell. And so we did that word the brother mentioned with that cosmic that went back to
Cosmeo, yep.
Cosmeo. You know, we got a spiritual makeover, man. Right. So you gotta continue to maintain that as well. You gotta continue to buy the products that clear up the pores in your skin. You know, keep your hair okay. You know, up to par. You know, all these different things, but you relate spiritually.
Right.
You know, but that's gotta be you.
That's right.
Another brother can't do that for you. You know.
Right. I got a precept.
Okay.
Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 21, verse 7. An eloquent man is known far and near, but a man of understanding knoweth when he slippeth.
You know, the eloquent man is known far and near. You got all guys that can speak and have good speech and have a very extensive vocabulary, you know, all that type of stuff. But a man of understanding know when he doing too much or he slipping, when he falling off.
Yep.
You know, at least you be. That's why I say examine yourself. Whether you be in the faith, at least you be
reprobate.
You know, a man of understanding is gonna see when he okay, now I need to trim. I'm tripping. I'm doing too much over here.
That's right.
Bring it back to we get back balance. You know,
that's
whether you get too engulfed in your hobbies, you gotta check yourself.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful. When that reprobate goes to being a mind without judgment. And the more that you lack judgment within them characteristics of yourself that you know you need to cut, you become a reprobate, man, because you try to justify your damn self. And whatever action that is, man, and again, it goes back to those virgins. It said those 5 wise ones took the oil, those foolish ones didn't. And oil lacked the understanding and that judgment or that discernment to be able to cut those different things off.
That's right. And let's say brothers going to camp doing their videos, but ain't fellowship. You know what I'm saying? Brothers start, no excuse me. I'm gonna rock it down. Damn, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You gonna you know,
that's
brothers
right.
ain't, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, you done had brothers, you done had 3 different camps visit within 4 months and they never see you. Right. They never seen you during that week they was here, or whether it was apostle or an elder. You know what I'm saying? That definitely has to be trimmed. You know what I'm saying? It's just another aspect like the priests are going into. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't piggyback. You can't just, you know, you have to be all everything, you know, in this truth, man. You know, you gotta be apt to teach. You know, you gotta be a brother. You know what I'm saying? It's just all aspects. You know?
Right.
You gotta actually be in this thing, man. You gotta be around. You know, it's for sake forsake not the assembly. So you're not gonna be up on the brothers all the time. You're not gonna be able to make every single moment with fellowship, but man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be in this thing. You gotta be active. You know, brothers seeing you, seeing how the way brothers can see your spirit. You can see how the spirit of the camp is.
Right.
Because if you're not there, you don't know what the hell is going on.
Exactly. Real talk. Real talk.
You gotta be in the same mindset. On the court, we gotta be looped in on everything. That's what the body is. An arm just ain't over here in fucking la la land, and the rest of the body is over here on one accord. Right? The whole body is looped in on one because of the brain, and it's sending out signals, and everything's working together.
I got
a precept for you.
Like the brothers, the brothers, I just had a vision of, you know, somebody's an amputee, and they take their leg off and put it in the corner. You know what I'm saying? You can't be that guy.
You don't want to be that part.
Yeah, you don't be in that corner.
Out of place ass part. You sitting there looking crazy with your hat on over your eyes. Trying to fit in, trying to fake it like you making it.
Eventually, that's gonna play out.
That's right.
It's gonna manifest itself.
That's right.
So, I said, it ain't just about videos. You gotta be. If you're not happy to see brothers laying town, man, or want to come see nobody, what the hell?
Yeah, real talk.
But it's totality. It's all of it, man.
God.
Right.
I got just a quick precept. This is second Ezra chapter 8 verse 61. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee, and few like thee. Then answered I and said, and that was the point. You know, the Lord is dealing with certain men, and they're all going to be like-minded one toward another. And those men are going to understand that the judgment is at hand. It's written in Sirach, the 18th chapter. It says, before judgment, examine thyself. And that self-examination is going to be a lot more keen today than yesterday because our salvation lies behind it. Especially since we know the time of judgment is at hand. Demons are all over the place. We see the decisions that certain people are making, like we were talking about earlier. People are saying John the Baptist wasn't in the truth, Paul wasn't in the truth, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? These are things, and even deeper than that, there's so many things that have to be examined and scoped as you're down here. Because at the end of the day, man, the Lord is looking for that who's unblemished. Now, it's all about who he chooses to have salvation for and who he wants. You know, at the end of the day, whatever you're going to be formed and likened like is going to be to Yahweh's desire, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai's desire anyway.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you just got to try. But that's that self-examination. Notice that in your mind. What do I need to work on? Am I doing excess of this and not as much as this? And he's looking for you to cut it off. But certain times, for example, just an example, we can get back to the precept. You have lumberjacks, and their job is to cut down trees, whatever the case is. Bro, them niggas go to work, bro. Them niggas ain't just one slice and it's just down. It's a process, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hack at it and work at it and work at it, man. And that's when you actually start seeing the finished product of the vision that you want to make as soon as you start cutting that stuff down. You know, everything gets grown out of whack. You wondering why your life is in shambles and you don't know what's going on. You know, but that's why they're called wise virgins, because that wisdom that the Lord given them is gonna be placed in their mind to know what to cut, know what to work on. You know, and those wise ones are those foolish ones are gonna just let it just get all out of tangle, you know, all over the place. And we in these times right now where this stuff is going on, I would just say it's Satan playing for keeps. You know, he wants your black ass. And, you know, when I say black, I'm talking about all Israelites, all tribes. I'm just using this word. He talking about your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that you just got it like that to feel like you just gonna just mosey on through. You know, at the end of the day, this is a fight, and the Lord's gonna give you whatever portion it is, but it's gonna be meant for you. And the more that you're able to overcome those different battles, whatever the case is, you're going to be even more wise in his eyes, and that beauty is going to be shown. You know what I'm saying? He's going to want you for the kingdom. You know?
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay. I had a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 5. It says, even when we were dead in sins, have quickened us together with Mashiach.
We read earlier in Hebrews, the 6th chapter, we were beat down, we were ran through, we were dogged.
Yep, right.
2 days. And then he said, the third day you shall be risen and revived. You know, so we were dead in sin at a point in time. Hey, you reading, where are you reading that?
This is Ephesians 2 and 5.
Okay, cool. Hey, you might as well start from the top, bro.
And this is Ephesians 2 and 1. It says, and you has he quickened who were dead in the trespasses and sins.
And that even goes hand in hand with that third day where we were made alive. That's that quickening right there, where the breath of the Lord had entered into us. Go ahead.
It says, wherein in the past you walked according to the course of this world.
Right, and what's the course of this world? It ain't straight, I'm going to tell you that much.
It's broad.
You know, it's mad broad. Extremely broad, man. And it even gets more broad when your eyes get opened up even more to the truth. You see that the broadness is vast. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to you thinking what you used to be, and it even far beyonds that to the different areas where you could have been and where you pray the Lord don't take you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth of it. Hey, the scriptures talk about them. You had that one demon that was on you, and then you swept your house out, garnished and clean. He go to a place, and 7 more spirits come back. Them 7 more spirits are what's out there in the world right now. But as you wake up to the truth and are quickened, they're like, okay, boom, we're gonna all try it.
Right.
You know? But moral of it is, that's what that dark place is going into. That's this world, the stuff that goes on, man.
That's right.
That's darkness right there.
It says, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
So that's talking about Satan and Esau, man. Okay, because that's who's ruling the world right now, is Esau, who's ran by his father Satan. You know? Which is, at the end of the day, is an angel on the left-hand side anyway.
Right.
But as they've been ruling the world, when Alexander and his posse came in, and after he died and his 4 generals ruled, it said wickedness increased on the earth. You know, so that darkness that got vast as soon as Esau got in power.
Right.
You know,
Right.
America, we said it earlier, this is the mother of all right here. You know, so there was a point of time where we was in this, but we also got to be thankful that we weren't really in this.
Right.
You know, you look at certain athletes, brothers could have gotten deals places. Certain athletes, man, when they go back to what they're exposed to, they come to the conclusion in their mind, like, I would have just been chill if I worked at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? But going back to it, you know, we could have been there and we haven't. You know, go ahead though. I don't want to keep talking. Go ahead. You got a point?
Just like when you brought up Alexander, you know, and Maccabees, our people was in there. They knew who they were, and they still said we're gonna go in the ordinance of the wicked,
Ignorance.
the ignorance. Yeah,
Ignore.
That was true disobedience, and like we were talking about earlier.
That's right.
Our people, they have heard the word, but they don't want to be brought to it. They just want to hear it and just keep going and say,
Right.
just stick to doing. They want to stick to that broad way.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
That's right, bro.
This is back in Ephesians 2:3. It says, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past.
We all know what that word conversation goes back to, self-conduct. You know, anastrophe, what all manner are you ought to be in all holy conversation and godliness.
Right.
You know, so that goes back to the self-conduct that we had back in the world. You know, go ahead.
In the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind.
Because you look at these people now, they fulfill it and don't even think twice about what they're about to do.
Yeah.
You know, she bad, man. She got a ring on her finger, man. But I don't fuck, man. Shit, that ain't my bitch.
Bro,
You know?
certain things that these people do, they sleep at night, not even knowing that just pissed the Most High off. Like certain things that these people do, we couldn't even do and sleep. We'd
Right.
be fearing our lives.
We would be in panic mode.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that just shows the lack of fear that these people have, man.
That's right.
Outside.
That's right.
And I had that fear before I even came to the truth, man.
Yeah.
I would worry, like, damn, you know, like, but at the time I thought I, you know, might die and go to hell, of
Yeah.
course, but, you know, but I had that fear, man, even
Gone.
then, you know.
Man,
These niggas, they'll just murk a nigga and just go to right
you
to
go
sleep.
right to sleep, like they ain't did nothing,
Right.
like a baby.
That's wicked.
It's just a little more. It says, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others.
By nature, children of wrath. It was just innocent at one point.
Mm.
You know, that at one point when we was in that darkness, we was out there, you know, as if it was natural. You know, but hey, while y'all watching y'all shot it,
Right.
hey, woke us up, took us about it, man.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
But Yahweh Shem Shai, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, has quickened us together with Mashiach. By grace ye are saved.
Bro, I mean, if I may, can you read the part of when he going into the love that he had for us, bro? Because you literally for the audience, man, you know, like really sit back and think. The Lord could have had us, bro. Like according to the law, we done.
Yep.
And that's what stood at a point in time, you know, which it was a shadow, but still though, like it had to have taken a mass amount of love that you can't even quantify in your own mind for us to be brought back and given what, if we the elect, what we're gonna receive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ephesians
No, I'm saying, that's heavy, bro. That love. Cause like going back to the verse before, it said we were children by nature of wrath.
Right.
Bro, it was we wasn't thinking about the scriptures like this in the aspect of moving in the world.
Yeah.
We were just getting how we live.
Bro.
It was natural. It was a natural thing. Like,
instinct.
we literally was blinded. It was in darkness. Right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't think ever that you'd be on the highways and byways preaching. You think you'd be still in the world doing your own thing, had your own selfish goals and all that.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden out of nowhere, the Spirit quickened us.
Yep.
That's why it leads down to the 8th verse where it says faith is a gift. The Most High showed His love
Yeah.
and His promise to give us that gift, man.
That's right.
Today, you gotta think about that. That's a precious gift, man. To see how you were in the world and then see how you are now.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Go back to verse Ephesians 2:4. It says, "But Yahweh Shem Yahushua, who is rich in mercy."
Bro, Richie balling in mercy. Bro.
What'd you say?
He's balling in mercy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at yourself, because you remember this too, like, we were bought.
Right.
We were bought with a price at that, at Yahushua's blood, and Yahushua represents the Lord's mercy too. So that was a huge price that had to be paid for the whole nation, by the way, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Rich in mercy. And those are things that we also need to apply as well. Of course, we don't use our liberty as an occasion to the flesh. But as we are in this flesh, there's certain things that you go through, there's certain things that you deal with, that you work on. And in your mind, you might be, oh man, I hope the Lord's still dealing with me. Turn from it. Just turn from it, and you're good. And keep turning from it, and keep working, and you're good. Don't let your weight of your sins carry you down to the point where you feel like you ain't worthy enough for the Lord to deal with you.
Right.
Because He's rich in mercy. Sirach chapter 14, verse 1. Book shop.
Right
Oh, you there? That's the spirit. Come.
there.
God, yeah.
But you don't want to put me on it. Y'all.
God, that's one of my favorite ones. Sirach 14:1. Blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth, and is not pricked with the multitude of sins.
It says not pricked with the multitude of sins. When you look at that word prick, that word goes into little small chinks. Little small, an abundance of small chinks, because enough chinks can break a shield. You know what I'm saying? Can make it brittle. That's right. But it says that is not pricked. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody else can bop a shaw hold on Romans chapter 20 and 23. I'll look it up if I can't find it, but it goes into that. So like it, bro.
Very good. Verse 2. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord.
You got it.
So you blessed, man. If you like the brother said, man, just if it's messing with you mentally, don't let it take you down, man. Don't let it overtake you. You'll be blessed if you don't let it condemn you, man. That way you don't fall. Cause hey, you gotta understand, we don't have it on this side. We were subject to vanity, as the scriptures say. Right. So like the brother said, man, just turn from it. And offend less, which I had that precept as well. But you can't let that weigh you down. You gotta understand that, hey, but at the same time, it's gonna give you life to keep messing. But you can't let it hold you. But you gotta do better at the same time. But after this real quick, Sirach 17:24. But unto them that repent, He granteth them return, and comforted those that fail in patience. So repent, man. If you repent and sincerely repent, and which what does repent mean? To turn back.
Right.
Turn from the type of thing.
14,
The Most High will bring you to turn. To comfort those that when you slip. That's why the scripture said a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets it back up. You repent, you get up. The Most High will comfort you in that. Verse 25, return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before His face and offend less.
There we go. Hey, it says for us, forsake thy sins. You read it in 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter, it says to renounce corruption as well when you go into that. You know what I'm saying? And when you go into that, renouncing, it means to cut off finally. So you want to make sure that you're working toward that goal. We not you, but including myself, of course.
Body.
It's a body, right? We work towards cutting off those different things.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, what's trimming without cutting things off? And it says those 5 wise virgins did everything that we're going into. These is what they did. And they had the measure. They went by the measure. That was what was given. And that's the oil via the scriptures that we have right now, the Holy Spirit, to discern these different things. So like it right now.
Yeah, like the brother said, man, you gotta cut those things off. That's why the Lord said it's better to go into the kingdom maimed than to be in hellfire, you know, being whole.
Right.
You know, you gotta cut those things out, whether spiritually it's an arm and this, whatever you're dealing with. You can't be like Piccolo and regenerate the same damn arm all the damn time. You gotta cut that off and you gotta make it on, you know what I mean? And you can't keep doing that, man, because that's not offending less. You're doing the same thing over and over again. Most High get tired, just like he got tired of us doing the sacrifice.
That's right.
Like, man, I'm sick.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know?
That's right.
Most High get tired, you can cast you out, you know? Verse 26, turn again to the Most High and turn away from iniquity, for he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health, and hate thou abomination vehemently.
And he'll give you tools and ways to combat what you're going through. You know, he had given us the truth as an avenue to combat the wickedness. He had gave us the access as the scriptures, which is comfort. He had given us access to the brotherhood, which is comfort, sound advice, sound doctrine, doctrine as the rain. This is all comfort. You know what I'm saying? So we have, you know, through the Spirit, we say it humbly, but also too confidently and boldly, we have the access to get right. We have what's the word I'm looking for? Access to what nobody else has access to. Right. You know, the information we've been given to us particularly set aside for us and no one else.
Right.
You know?
If I say this real quick, the Most High, and even if it's a situation that you failing in, and it's a bad situation for you, but if you keep maintaining integrity, the Most High change your circumstances.
That's right.
For the better, and he'll get you out of the situation.
That's right.
Whether it's a living situation, whether it's a job, you know, or it's shit that you got to deal with every day, but it's fucking with you.
Yeah.
You failed a couple times, but you still fight and maintain integrity. The Most High will eventually remove that out of your life once you prove yourself.
Right.
And then you'll level up and you'll go to the next task.
That's right.
You know?
That's right, brother.
I got one.
Come.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins.
And that's another avenue right there. Charity.
And that fervent is being without ceasing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
right.
To give like continual love for one another, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know.
Yeah.
That's sacrifice and living to make your body a living sacrifice, your time, your finances, your wisdom, you know, your ear, whatever it is, man, that can cover a lot of stuff that you fucking up in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what's gonna get us covered.
Man,
we
it's needed.
in a multitude of sins all day. This place is designed for us to go off.
Right.
So that's why that's why Paul said, if I don't have charity, I do all these other things. I'm, you know, sparks are shooting out my ass. I'm calling down fire. I'm casting out demons. If I ain't got charity, it's nothing.
That's right.
God, you doing all these miraculous things, but if you ain't got charity, you ain't shit. And we've seen that. We've seen guys high level, charity on -1, other everything else. Remember precepts on 99 overall. You know, but your charity, that's the only thing you lacking.
Yeah.
It was vain.
That's right. When in doubt, pay them tithes.
Man, hey, you better pick that brother up at 3 in the morning.
God, hey, you look at that Romans 14. I said Romans 20. Hey, Romans got 20 chapters earlier. I said, I'm sorry. Shoot, hey, we've all done it, man. Shoot, as long as you don't call out for the book of Bartholomew, chapter 5. Romans 20. Romans 14:23. Hey, you start at verse 20. It's from 20 to 23 though.
Okay, this is Romans 14. You're gonna read it. Romans 14:20. It says, "For meat destroy not the work of the Most High." Hey, we went in earlier in Ecclesiastes. That was the 14th chapter, going into being pricked by what it is. Now back then, a lot of it was like meat went into a lot, like what you enjoy yourself in, festivities, what you fest in. You know, meat was always offered up, this, that, and the third. It was high commodity back then on how you conducted yourself. It was tied to meat. So you look at that today, what you accessing, you know, knowing dang well it's gonna cause you anger, this, that, and the third was not really best for you. That can cause your mind to blur, you know, and that can cause those chinks in your armor. Even spiritually, you know what I'm saying? When you go on a meat diet or not a meat diet, a water diet, I'm sorry. When you stay away from meat, stay away from food, or even certain fasts where you stay away from meat for a little bit, that's when your mind is clear. You know what I'm saying? So even you look at it spiritually, not saying you don't gotta take meat out of your diet, but if you apply meat in this scripture to whatever might be your hindrance or your stumbling block, if you exit it out of your diet, that's when you'll see access growth. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
That's why I say this. That's why scriptures give you. I think it's Sirach 31 talks about when you're eating, don't eat too much.
Right.
At least you'll have that color.
That's right.
You want it being sick and stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
surfing.
Yep.
you know, so you're doing too much, even like the brother said, spiritually, whatever, man, you'll be sick in the head, you'll be bugged out, your thoughts ain't gonna be right, you know, you're gonna open yourself up because you're not steady in the covering and, you know, the will.
That's
You're not
right.
eating the right things.
That's right. That's that access growing where you don't trim. You let it grow to the point where it becomes more untrimmable than trimmable. You know, at least in your mind, which you ain't carrying no oil anyways, on your mind, you look at it like, I can't ever trim this or whatever, you know? So yeah, man, just make sure you at least work at it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord's looking for.
Yeah.
You work at it, it's trimming that's being done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's just, boom, branch, stop.
Yeah.
It's trimming, you know?
Yeah.
But continuing that, Bubba Kashaw.
Yeah, come. It says, verse 20, I'll read it again, Romans 14:20. For meat destroy not the work of the Most High. All things indeed are pure, but it is evil for that man who eateth with offense.
Eat with offense. Go ahead. Hey, it says offend less. We read it earlier. Offend less. That's important. And it ain't, of course, you don't want to offend a brother. So if you have that in your mind, you offend less too. But we also have to focus on what we might be offending in the eyes of Yahweh Shah, the angels. You know what I'm saying? Even though we were programmed to be who we are, but we don't know if we're the elect. You know, so we can't just skate on the boundaries of, of course you put on the elect. It ain't like you walk as if, you just like, I am you don't walk like you're the man. But at the same time, you're automatically going to have that boundary in your mind as I got the elect put on, but I ain't going to use this to walk and do everything that I want to, just thinking that I have everything covered. Because that's what Christianity is all about. You know, they'll go and say, I'm saved and I can do anything, and they think that everybody's good and can make it. And that's the line that we have to have in our minds. Where's lines and boundaries that you don't cross. And if you do kind of see stuff getting close, making sure you're getting back. You know what I'm saying? And that's that meat that can cause you to offense. That's for those, once you cross a certain line, that's when offenses are being made. Because it's offending to the brothers. Brothers are looking at it, it could be a burden to whoever. And then that could trickle all the way up from the brothers to the Lord himself, where he could bring you down and judge you in a crazy ass fashion in front of the whole congregation. And I mean, I'm pretty sure none of us want to be involved in that, Go ahead, brother.
21 says, it is good neither to eat flesh, nor to drink wine, nor anything whereby thy brother stumbleth, or is offended, or is made weak. Hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before the Most High. Happy is he that condemneth not himself in that thing which he alloweth.
There we go. That condemneth not which he alloweth. You allow too much in your life to the point where it might become uncontrollable. You can condemn your own self by your thoughts and what you're going through. That's Sirach chapter 14. That's why I wanted to bring that precept out. That's why I wanted that brought out, because that goes right back to Sirach chapter 14. Blessed the man who was not pricked with his iniquities. You know what I'm saying? But that was it on that Romans, the water for bringing that out. But again, we are going into the virgins. And these are things which makes the wise virgins wise. They're all presented. All the virgins are presented with these different things that's in front of them. But only the wise ones are going to make that choice. The foolish ones aren't going to make that choice. And that's the lack of oil. And this is why they went last minute to try to get it. Because they weren't applying this with all the different scenarios in their everyday lives that was presented in front of them. You can jump back to that in Matthew, unless anybody else has a precept. It don't gotta be too, we can just end it off on, unless anybody has anything. Whoever has a precept, we can end it off on those, but let's finish that up in Matthew 25. How about that?
Matthew 25, it was in verse 9, it says, but the wise answer saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. But while they went to buy, the bridegroom came.
Too late. It was too late. That's when a lot of people are going to also look for the men of the Lord as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it's too late. Go ahead.
And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage.
That were ready.
Mm-hmm.
Trim, they were, at least they was trimming. You know, it was garnished up. They was ready. You know, that word again goes back to cosmeo, which it means to arrange.
Right.
So they were arranged, all right, and they were fashioned to the likeness that the bridegroom wanted them fashioned. You know, go ahead.
I don't know if y'all brought this out yet. Revelation 19:7. I saw verse 6. And I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thundering, saying, Hallelujah, for the Lord power omnipotent reigneth. Let us be glad and rejoice, and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready.
There we go. Wife has made herself ready. So that's ultimately what it's about. Are you being ready when the time comes?
Right.
You know?
That's right.
No, you got it. I was gonna ask there was more.
Okay, one more verse. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints.
That's the fine linen, man. That's it. That's why you read it in 2 Samuel chapter 22. I believe it's chapter 22, where King David says, the Lord rewarded me according to my own righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So it's about, and your righteousness is going to be backed up by, I will say your works, of course, but again, it goes back to election. Right. But your works are going to be tied to your name. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord talks about having your name, that name right there. And your work, your memory, your actions is all going to be tied behind that. And all that's going to be seen by the Lord. That's why it says in Matthew, the 3rd chapter as well, those that spoke awfully one to another. All that ties to works. Speaking often one to another is tied as work. Being out there and made ready, it takes works to be made ready. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, those are going to be who the Lord sees. That's those who are made ready. That those works are tied behind it. That righteousness right there.
Couple
you know?
Faith, that's why Scripture says faith without works is dead.
That's right.
And your faith is going to drive you to continue to work. You're going to continue to pray yourself. You're going to continue to trim.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're going to continue to act as that wise virgin and not be condemned to let your conscience condemn you and fall off from your hope.
Right.
Your faith is going to keep you whole and keep you pushing, you know?
That's right.
Oh, that was on that precept.
Back in Matthew 25, the end of verse 10, and it reads, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the doors were shut. Afterwards came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily, I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour within the Son of Man cometh.
Read the top of that verse again.
Done. This is verse 13, Matthew 25, 13. It says, I will read 12 again. It says, but he answered and said, Verily, I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither.
Watch therefore. Mm-hmm. You know, that stands out and that's big because that's right there. Watch. Like, because if you ain't watching, if you ain't examining yourselves, if you ain't watching what you need to be doing, you could be knocking on that door wanting to be called up in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's very important, and that's a warning right there, man.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's why Scripture said in the previous chapter, as in the days of Noah. Mm-hmm. So what happened? It said those 5 wise virgins went in with the bridegroom, and the door was shut.
Yep.
What did the Lord do on the ark? He sealed that ark.
Right. He sealed the door.
His family, and everyone else couldn't get in.
That's right.
So the Lord's going to do the same thing this time. He's going to, when the wise virgins, all the wise virgins that are appointed already, they're going to go in with the bridegroom and they're going to shut that door.
Right.
Everyone else is going to be out there. And he's going to say, depart from me. I never knew you.
Right,
you know, you work over iniquity. Mm-hmm. You know? That's why there's many reasons. That's why you got to continue to watch. Mm-hmm. You know? So you just remain to be that wise person. That way, when the time for that bridegroom comes, hey, you can be a part of that wedding.
That's right.
Got the inside scoop.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Anybody got any closing precepts or anything? I said on that in Matthew.
I know Zephaniah 1. Talk about settling on the leaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get that real quick.
And we can end it off on that one.
Yeah, kind of. This is Zephaniah. Zechariah, Salak.
Zechariah 1 or 12?
Zephaniah is where I talk about set on the leaves. Yeah, Zephaniah 1 and 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leaves, that say in their heart, the Most High will not do good, neither will he do evil. Just like the brothers going into those foolish virgins, not, using their oil wisely, when the time of repentance and the doors of mercy were open unto them, they didn't capitalize off of that, making sure they stay in the spirit, growing in the faith. They're going to be caught out there like a thief in the night, like the scriptures say, man, where it's weeping and gnashing of teeth, which is going into the really Jacob's trouble in general.
That's right. That lack of judgment, that reprobate, and the Lord ain't gonna do good nor evil. All right, man.
You showing your pastor, you moving around like he ain't gonna do nothing. Like you ain't gonna, like when Jay move around, sometimes like the Lord will make a move on you.
Yep.
Shit, hey, the Lord will reach out and touch.
Let's touch you.
That's the worst time to get snuck.
Yep. He gonna say, hey, bro. You gonna watch, hey, remember that Wilder fight against Ortiz? As soon as he put that arm down, pop! Right there, out of there, bro. Instantly, right hand.
Like even when you were a kid, or you seen like your little cousin, a kid keep doing shit, but act like the parent ain't there, and all of a sudden,
out of nowhere.
It didn't happen to you, or you don't seen that happen to a cousin or something. Right? You're like, oh, bro, okay. Like you was acting, you moving around and carrying yourself around like I want to hit you. Like what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? So, hey, that's what Jake act like that sometimes. But but the both sides gonna search, and that's what he's doing right now. He's searching, brothers, and when you search the candle, you getting in there. The light is brightest right around that little flame.
That's a flashlight.
Like you getting off in there in the corners with the candle.
That's inspection right there.
Yeah, that's hardcore inspection.
Hey, that reminds me of the Passover. Well, I remember coming up, watching the Prince of Egypt, and how they had the illustration of the death angel checking every door. Not saying that's how it happened, right?
But I know what you're saying though. It was inspecting that door, making sure the blood was there.
Exactly. And then go to the next door. Okay, got the blood on this door. Oh, you sleeping?
That's a good observation. Yeah, even you look about how dark this place is and how the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Makes me think about a black light. You know what I'm saying? When even when the light is shining, everything look good. You put that darkness with it, and then you got this particular light that shines. Everything seems.
Oh, this nigga nasty.
Hey man, but we say these things in joking and in joy, but also too, man, we say these things for self-examination and for our salvation's sake. It's time to trim. It's before the Passover. Hey, not even just only because it's before the Passover, but it's before the day of the Lord. But I'm just saying before the Passover because specifically before the Passover, things tend to be shaken up and happening. Hey, it's boom, message.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we see these things that are shaken up and are happening right now. It is time to trim.
That's right.
Let's trim.
I had one more. I'm gonna say this because you don't want that black light to be on you because we all have some nasty, or not to say make nasty, but I'm saying that as broad.
In the eyes of the Most High.
You have some nasty things, man. You have certain things you've done that you will be ashamed of, man. That's why the Lord said, "Blessed is the man who have not imputed iniquity, and his sins are covered." From the foundation of the earth, man, you're blessed because we all got things that we can be judged on, that we need to be put to death 77 times over. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be that guy that wants to put that black light on you in front of everybody. Because that's what's going to happen. That's this real quick. Got in Sirach, the first chapter. Sirach 1, and starting 28. Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Okay, so you don't want to come and be double-minded. The scripture said, double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You don't want to be that type of guy, because most are not looking for that. You're not looking for a hypocrite, because that's what happened. We read Isaiah the 10th chapter. He sent the Assyrians upon a hypocritical nation, which was us, and you got punished for that, Verse 30, exalt not thyself lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discover thy secrets, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. You discover yourself That's one of them unwise virgins, man. You faking the funk.
Yep.
You know, faking the funk. Hey, the scripture, the brothers read, the Lord searching Jerusalem with candles, man. You know, you don't want to be the one where he discover your secrets in front of everybody. You looking crazy as hell in front of Israel. You already see Jake being aired out. Right. You know, the Most High will reveal you to be just a whole ass nigga. You don't want that. You know.
That's right, bro.
That's all I have, man.
Hey, that's a great one to end it off on. You know, but Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations and many blessings to you, elect Akim, across the four winds of this earth, giving this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.